Hello, and welcome to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics. Today is Wednesday, 31 July. I'm your host Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence. Every weekday we bring you not just the news, but the so what from the events and decisions that shape our world. So grab a coffee and get ready to be informed. In today's update, we'll be covering Sudan's top general who has survived a drone strike, Palestinians detained by Israel faced torture, says the UN, and the leader of Hamas has been killed in Iran. So firstly, Sudan's top military commander has survived a drone strike targeting an army ceremony in eastern Sudan. The attack, confirmed by a military spokesman, resulted in the deaths of 5 individuals. This incident occurs amid a civil conflict that has been persisting for over a year between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. The RSF, previously overseen by the Sudanese government, split due to a disagreement between military leadership and the RSF leadership. The conflict has led to widespread displacement and significant casualties among Sudanese civilians. There has been intense fighting, particularly in the capital, with the military operating near the Red Sea bases. So what? This drone strike will not improve the chances of upcoming peace talks. It is possible that the Sudanese army will be even less willing to participate now, as they still not confirmed. Additionally, it is also possible that the RSF is not going into the peace talks for any reason other than to stall out the Sudanese army, in the hopes of getting more support from the Russian military. Regardless, sadly, it seems highly unlikely that peace is on the horizon for Sudan. And next, the United Nations Office of the Human Rights Commissioner has reported that thousands of Palestinians have been detained by Israel in ways that violate international human rights and humanitarian law. Since the October 7 attack by Hamas in southern Israel, Palestinians have been subjugated to arbitrary, prolonged, and sometimes secret detention. The report details allegations of torture, degrading treatment, including waterboarding, and the release of dogs on detainees. There have also been instances of sexual abuse. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights emphasized the severity of these violations, describing them as a flagrant breach of international law. The report is based on interviews with former detainees and other sources, including data from the Israeli government and Palestinian Authority. It highlights the detention of thousands of individuals in Gaza, Israel, and the occupied West Bank, including medical staff, patients, and civilians fleeing the conflict. The detention also involved daily mass arrests of Palestinians, often carried out in an arbitrary manner. Furthermore, it was reported that 9,400 security detainees were held by Israeli prison services since the end of June. Testimonies from detainees describe severe mistreatment, including being held in cage-like facilities, deprived of basic needs, and subjugated to electric shocks. So what? This is another blow for Israel's reputation on the international stage, something that seems to be happening more and more in recent days. While it is acceptable for Israel to defend itself, and there is understandable anger following the October 7 attacks, it needs to hold itself and its soldiers to a higher level, and not sink to the level of terror groups operating in the region. However, it is highly likely that Israel will dismiss the UN report as baseless and just see it as another way of attacking Israel, something they can do with relative ease due to the history of UN reports against the country. In Israel's eyes, the UN has lost all credibility due to a range of reasons, such as letting Iran hold the chair for UN human rights. And lastly, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh has reportedly been killed in Tehran, according to statements from both Hamas and the IRGC. The IRGC confirmed that Haniyeh's residence in Tehran was struck, resulting in his death and the death of one of his bodyguards. This incident has drawn condemnation from various international entities such as Russia, Turkey, Qatar, and the Palestinian Authority, and has heightened concerns of a broader regional conflict. Haniyeh, a significant figure within Hamas, joined the group during the founding in 1987. He went on to serve as the Palestinian Prime Minister in 2006 and was elected the leader of Hamas Political Bureau in 2017. Haniyeh has been living in exile in Qatar and Turkey since 2016, maintaining diplomatic relations with various Palestinian factions and political leaders in Iran and Turkey. So what? This is another significant blow to Hamas and Iran for both leadership and reputational reasons. While someone will always be able to replace his position in theory, his experience and figurehead position within the group will be difficult to recreate. Though they may not have claimed responsibility, it seems highly likely that Israel was responsible for the strike. Even on the low chance that Israel was not responsible, Iran will almost certainly blame them, and has already stated they will retaliate. It is likely that this retaliation will come in a few different forms, with the possibility of attacks against Israelis outside of Israel, such as at the Olympic Games, and it is also possible that Iran will send a large barrage of drones, missiles and rockets at Israel in the hopes it can overwhelm the Iron Dome and hit Israeli cities. What is certain is that tensions in the region are not going to cool anytime soon, and that there's the high possibility of a broader conflict starting. Thank you for listening to the Intel Briefing, your daily intelligence brief on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. If you want to support this podcast, tell your friends to help them stay informed, and leave us a 5-star review. Or if you want to learn more about intelligence, why not take one of our courses? They're all online, self-paced, and affordable. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.